Students, what's going on? Unit 2, Lesson 9. We're rocking up the Unit 2, getting them out. This is probably the longest unit. Yesterday's lesson by Mr. Huff was perfect, dealing with the Articles Confederation and why the Articles Confederation were not successful, but why the Americans wanted to start with the Articles Confederation as their first government. If you did not check that one out, go check it out. I know you guys did the lesson itself to be here, but you definitely want to get that extra background information because that's going to be important for the portfolio that's coming up that is going to be based on the Articles of Confederation, its failure and how it didn't work in America, and today's lesson, the framing of the Constitution, like a framework of our house where they're just setting it up and they're building this big, beautiful Constitution. That's what we're discussing today. We're talking about the folks who helped bring about the Constitution. Let's get to it. The French philosopher Baron de
Montesquieu.
Yeah, we'll do that again.
Montesquieu.
Yeah, Montesquieu. I'm bad at pronouncing names. He came about. And he is going to be the one who writes. He's going to be the one who said and writes. It is necessary from the very nature of things that power should be a check to power. This, he believed, would allow liberty to prevail while preventing tyrannical power. By putting in place a system of checks and balances and by dividing the executive, legislative, and judicial powers, government could best serve the people. Everybody's afraid of some crazy dictator taking over the world or taking over the government and taking too much power. And Montesquieu said, you know what, if you take the power and you divide it up between different groups, then no group is going to be too important. That just sounded a little bit about what we're going to get into, legislative, judicial, executive, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Highly influenced by the writings of
Montesquieu.
Gotta be quicker. And John Locke, we've already talked about. The founding fathers crafted the United States Constitution. Still, each of them had a specific political philosophies and ideas about how the new government should be structured. In this lesson, you will discover some great things about the founding fathers, their beliefs, and the process of drafting, which means writing, and ratifying, getting people to agree to the Constitution, also known as the United States Constitution. No one calls it Constitution except for me, but it's kind of fun to say. Objectives. Summarize the debates and compromises that led to the creation of the United States Constitution. Hey man, when we were making America, it was not perfect things going on. We had slavery going on, and it's going to find its way into the Constitution. Compare the political ideologies of the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. Imagine that, America divided between two groups. Describe the events leading up to the creation of the United States Constitution and identify four framers of the Constitution, four people who will help build the Constitution. We're going to talk about the Anti-Federalists. We're going to talk about the Federalists. Remember what I was talking about? We're talking about how slavery is going to impact into the Constitution. We're going to talk about the 3/5 Compromise, okay? Quorum, Virginia Plan, lots of things that we're going to discuss today. I'm going to discuss a few of them with me in my McDonald's cup here. And then you guys are going to do some on your own today because you need to do some work too. This is not all about me. This is about you too. Let's go. Next, 2 out of 7. Getting to know the founders. While a number of men are recognized as founding fathers of America, this lesson will focus on a few of them whose ideas and actions were key to the creation of the ratification of the United States Constitution. As you read, consider each individual's philosophies specifically contributed to the creation of the American government. How each one of these guys' ideas helped frame the Constitution. James Madison, one of our founding fathers, often referred to as the father of the U.S. Constitution. James Madison was a delegate to the Virginia Convention with Thomas Jefferson. Pretty big guy. Together, they ensured the Virginia State Constitution protected the freedom of religion. Also, a member of the Continental Congress, Madison believed in a strong central government divided into three parts, just like Montesquieu said: legislative, judicial, executive. He also authored the Virginia Plan, which became the foundation of the Constitution. Ooh, I've got some mail. It became
from Michelle Allen.
It became the foundation of the Constitution. Okay, the Virginia Plan is going to help be the foundation of the Constitution. I'm going to go ahead and mute this now. But once, as I said before, the Virginia Plan becomes the foundation of the Constitution. He also said that 17 times. As one of the founders who wanted to ratify the Constitution, Madison penned numerous essays in the collection known as the Federalist Papers, meaning he's going to be a Federalist. Federalist is someone who wants this new Constitution. And he explained the end for the division of powers. He explaining the need for the division of powers, in addition to checks and balances. Very big terms that you are going to need to know. We do not want one part of the government to have too much power, so each part of the government is supposed to check another part of the government, meaning no place is too powerful. It kind of slows down the government, but it keeps us from being taken over by dictators. All right, Alexander Hamilton. You've ever heard of Hamilton? If you haven't, Disney, y'all. Disney. Alexander Hamilton. Hamilton that was on Broadway forever. Hamilton, whose name is going to come to me very soon. You guys are saying it with me. The guy who made Hamilton into a play. It'll come to me like halfway through. Who was that guy's name? He's huge. He's like, I know him. I follow him. Just keep screaming at me. I'll get it. All right. Many scholars believe that Alexander Hamilton was the most influential of the founding fathers because he persuaded the others to overhaul the Articles of Confederation. Hamilton is like, they're weak, we need to do something stronger, and to assemble the Constitutional Convention, where everybody came together, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to fix the Constitution, and we're going to fix the Articles of Confederation, and they throw it away and start a Constitution. Like James Madison, Hamilton also argued for a strong central government in his contributions to the Federalist Papers. His persuasive writing helped shift public opinions towards the ratification of the United States Constitution. He was killed by Burr in a duel. Sorry for the spoiler there. And this is all written by Lin-Manuel. Yes. All right. Many scholars believe that. John Jay. Although John Jay did not initially support independence, he was kind of more of a loyalist. He became an important member of the United States government under the Articles of Confederation. Along with James Madison and Alexander Hamilton, Jay wrote about his views for a strong central government. Guess where? The Federalist Papers. As a supporter of ratification, Jay also advocated the division of power, that not one part of government is way too powerful. Roger Sherman was widely respected by his colleagues. Roger Sherman was the only founding father who signed every one of the founding documents. He also helped to draft most of them, a delegate to the Continental Congress and the Constitutional Convention. Sherman supported the idea of a new government and a replacement of the weak Articles Confederation. Sherman suggested the critical idea of a bicameral legislature, two parts, to settle the dispute of population and representation among the states, known as the Connecticut Compromise. Some of the small states are like, we can't do it by population because it'll be overran. And the big states are like, we got more people. I don't think we should let, everything should be equal. And they're like, well, why don't we have the House of Representatives where your votes are based on the amount of people you have in your state, and then we'll have the Senate. Everybody gets 2. Oh, that's a pretty good compromise. It's the Connecticut Compromise by Roger Sherman. This allowed the larger states greater representation in the House of Representatives, but representation equal in the smaller states in the Senate. Yeah. All right, moving on. 3 of 7. Let's go. This is where you guys start to work out. No, a little bit of me talking. All right. When the delegates to the Constitutional Convention decided that significant changes would have to be made to the Articles of Confederation, 2 plans framed the debate. the Virginia Plan, and the New Jersey Plan. Under the Virginia Plan, the central government would have expanded powers and follow Montesquieu's plan of separation into three parts: the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. Furthermore, Congress would be bicameral. It would have two parts, where the people would choose delegates in the House of Representatives and the House would choose members of the Senate. The number of delegates in the lower house will be based either on population or the amount of money the state gave to the central government. The more populous states supported this approach. That's not a bad idea. But as always in America, there's two sides. Seeking more conservative visions or confederations, the smaller states of New Jersey, Maryland, and Delaware proposed the New Jersey Plan. Instead of moving into a bicameral legislature, the New Jersey Plan kept it unicameral, just one. And everybody had the same amount of votes. Congress would gain the power to tax and regulate trade between the states, but otherwise, hands off. In the New Jersey Plan, each state would have equal representation in Congress. What can we do? It's a stalemate. Yes, the delegates of the convention faced a stalemate. The Articles of Confederation, which remained in effect throughout the debate, stated that all the states had to agree to make changes. Finally, the Connecticut Compromise broke the impasse. And this is where you read about that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read it to you. Read it to yourself. Some good information about how that happened. And let's go. 4 of 7. Ratifying the Constitution. Okay, just because those men went and rented apartments to write the Constitution doesn't mean that America was ready for it yet. They had to sell it to them because every state is going to have to ratify it. I believe 9 out of 12, 9 out of 13? No, let's go through. Following the writing of the Constitution, America engaged in a long, difficult debate that split the public into two groups: the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. Imagine that, America being split into two groups. Led by James Madison and Alexander Hamilton, the Federalists favored a strong central government and supported ratification of the Constitution. On the other side, Patrick Henry of Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death fame, John Hancock and Samuel Adams staunchly opposed ratification. They said, no, we don't want it. They were known as the Anti-Federalists. They were against the stronger Constitution. They wanted to keep the weaker Articles of Confederation, which gave the states more power. They thought it would lead to another monarchy, and they thought it would lead to their rights being stolen away. This belief led them to highlight the fact that no Bill of Rights was yet included in the Constitution. Bill of Rights. Very important. What followed was a series of papers and speeches by both groups, Federalists and the Anti-Federalists, both going at each other, both trying to prove to America which side had the better points. However, the most famous were the Federalist Papers written by James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, John Jay. Eventually, the Federalist argument won out. We got a new Constitution, and every state ratified the Constitution by 1789. George the man Washington, whose support of the Federalists was vital to ratification, was elected president by a unanimous vote of the new Congress. Guys, this is really fun history. It's good times. I know bad things are going on, but it's a good time. So if you get a chance to read about this, please do, especially right here. Select the button to learn more about this. Press play right here. That's a great video. If you're watching this recording, which you should be, pause it, watch the video. And we're back. If you didn't watch the video, pause it now and watch the video. Everybody else, let's move on. 5 out of 7. 14 minutes. We're going long today. Such good stuff. Oh! This is the Federalist Papers. You need to read about this. Check your work. Same over here. You get to check your work. And then it'll be quiz time. Make sure you do that too. I'm not going to give you the answers to this quiz because, we're giving you the answer to so many other quiz and we don't want to inflate your grade. So make sure you do that quiz right there. If you get it wrong, it's okay. You can do test corrections. That is Unit 2, Lesson 9. Framing, building up the Constitution and ratifying it. This is Mr. Galt. I was your teacher for today. Thank you very much.